So it sounds like what you're trying to do is fight back to protect people from judicial abuse.
Yeah. Well, what we are doing is we're teaching people their rights, the civil court of procedures, because you have procedures.
Right.
We're supposed to follow the procedures, and they're supposed to follow the procedures.
But they don't follow the procedures, but God help you if you don't follow the procedures.
Yeah, so when we don't follow the procedures, or we don't pay child support, they illegally suspend your license,
Right.
they issue illegal gag orders, they throw you in jail, they restrict more time.
Right.
Or your parenting time.
Right.
They
threaten these things blatantly.
And that right there is a pattern of practice of judicial bias.
Yeah.
That needs to be corrected across the board.
But how do you prove this stuff when, basically they'll say, well, that's what you think he said, or, the only option I can see to correct this is kind of what you mentioned in Tennessee, have a videotaping of the entire thing.
Transparency.
Have complete transparency.
Yeah.
It does not seem like that's the case right now, though.
We know there's no transparency.
So that,
yeah. And that's the problem. So it might need to be legislated in every state. Just the word transparency, it's already in there.
Yeah.
So it's already in the Civil Code of Procedures that a judge is supposed to be transparent.
We just have to define what it means.
It's not supposed to be biased.
Yeah.
So you use all these other tools.
That's not bias.
Yeah, you use all these other tools to follow the procedures and protect yourself.
Yeah.
Because there are good judges too.
There are
and
good judges, absolutely.
we promote the good judges as well as the bad judges.
Yes.
Like we'll point out, this judge rules per the law.
Yeah.
This judge violates every constitutional right, every ADA act. He's like the Grinch.
Yeah.
We will put that name out there to the public.
Yeah.
Because it's the public's right to know. It's also the public's right to know that this is a just judge.
Right.
You will get a fair hearing in front of this judge. So we want to promote these, and we want to clean up. It's just like bad cops.
Yeah.
Not every cop is bad.
Right.
But there are some really bad ones.
Right.
And the public has the right to know of the really bad ones and the really good ones.
And I think between the bad and the good, there's the incompetent or the ignorant. But anyway,
there's the incompetent, the untrained, the unlicensed, the I'm a judge but I'm acting as your psychiatrist.
Yeah, I know.
You get a lot of that. You get professional incompetence. You get guardian ad litems that are incompetent. It's all across. It's fraught, like you would say, with professional incompetence, and we have the right to not be abused by that.
So, if people want to know more about this, it sounds like you said you're in all the various states. You're in a couple of countries, 6 countries, I believe you said it was.
Yes.
How do they get in touch with you? How do they follow? How do they become I don't know if it's a membership, if it's a voluntary thing.
So that's the good thing is, be wary of advocates that are charging you a lot of money.
Okay.
So we're a volunteer system.
Right.
That's why people are jumping on board and volunteering their time. We have psychologists, we have doctors, we have attorneys, we have paralegals, we have PIs, we have officers.
Lots of people that realize there are problems.
FBI agents, and there's a lot of people we can't say who we have.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of people with a lot of tools that are helping out Americans that are being abused. And it's volunteer based because this information is free.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know how to either go to the library and look stuff up, go online, look stuff up, go read your Civil Code of Procedures, and as we teach everybody, learn the law.
Right.
We have a couple of constitutional scholars, we got Juris Doctorates on there, and all they do is it's a co-op teaching, file sharing community that's come together based on abuses to protect our children.
Right.
So the main thing is the children, it's the family environment, because the bad judges are incentivized to break up your family and create this environment.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that, my purpose in being here in a lot of these things is I do not want to leave this system.
Yes. Yeah. We know it's a broken system.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about it. They're not talking about it enough.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many examples.
Yeah.
You can look at the Britney Spears guardianship. You can look at the Brad and Angelina. You can look at Alec Baldwin and Johnny Depp. They're writing a book together. You can look at Greg Ellis. You can look at Halle Berry and Kelly Clarkson just getting raked over the coals and milked for money.
Yeah.
To pay the amount of money that these people paid and to be vilified in the public, if you didn't have recordings, people would not know half of the stuff that goes on behind closed doors.
Absolutely.
And it's the same in the court system.
Yeah.
If you have a recording of something, then it's a fact.
Yeah.
But if you didn't have those recordings, or you couldn't afford the transcript, you have no facts to defend yourself.
Right. Right.
So there's plenty of cases out there to see that the abuses go on. It's just not everyone's number one priority.
Right. Until they go through it, and then all of a sudden it becomes...
Then it's their entire
life.
Entire life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally, we talk people off the ledge all the time.
Yeah, I know.
We have people that, most recently in Kentucky, a lady was literally tackled and choked and her 2-day-old child taken from her because she has a CPS case on an older child. That is just kidnapping.
It is kidnapping. Yeah.
And if you had a father there, do you think that would happen at all?
Well, I think that what we need, because what's happening in our society is a lot of the men have been almost emasculated.
Yes.
And we need to have the men that are the Superman, the Batman, whatever you want to call them, the men that are going to say, stops here. And the men that actually say, wait a minute, they have been trying to feminize me and emasculate me, and causing me to not do my job as a father, as a husband, as a protector of my society. And
toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
But when the bear's charging, everybody's looking for that toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Would you get in between the bear and me, honey?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought I was a threat.
Yeah. 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 And it's not. And the only toxic masculinity is learned because of lack of masculinity, lack of true masculinity being exhibited.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Honey, will you protect me from this robber? I thought I was toxic.
Yeah, I know.
There's someone breaking into the house. Go downstairs. I'm too toxic. I might offend that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of stories we can tell about that, aren't there?
Exactly.
So anyway, if people want to learn more, become part of the community, how do they go about doing this?
So again, it's free. It just takes time. You can reach us either through the FamilyResourceFoundation.com.
FamilyResourceFoundation.com.
Foundation.com. Or you can get into our base camp through the Family Court Anti-Corruption Coalition.com.
Oh, I love it. Family Court Anti-Corruption Coalition.com. That's beautiful.
And we have a base camp, which is where we kind of bring people in and just
vet them a little bit, or not?
We do vet them, yeah, because we have had some moles, and they're the worst ones, the ones that come in and try to divide. All these people are going through enough trauma. Yeah. You don't need your own people
to be causing
more trauma, more abuse to you.
Right.
And so yeah, we do vet, and it's just one big, community, and we laugh, and we go all night sometimes. We'll start at 6 and go till midnight.
Yeah.
There's so many stories, or it's a school basically.
Yeah.
It's a public education. It's where your therapist. Sometimes the best conversations you have are with your best friend.
Yeah.
You get them out because sometimes you can't go to your family. But yeah, Family Resource Foundation or the Family Court Anti-Corruption Coalition. You can reach us there. You can come join us. It's free. We literally have a Zoom every single night. We have our Canada group on Sundays. We have our think tanks on Wednesdays. We have our teachings on Thursdays with Michael A. He's a genius. We got our peer support on Fridays. We have CPS on Saturdays, and then Monday, Tuesday, we talk about legislation or stuff that we're going on here. Judges, corrupt judges, we We help people with the court watching. So on Monday, Tuesdays, we go over the cases on Mondays and Tuesdays and discuss them.
Wow. Well, that's tremendous, and I'm glad that you're doing that. And this is a nationwide effort.
Nationwide, yes.
You know, I'm so glad that I'm so glad you're doing that. I started to do something a little bit locally here, but I'm not a great organizer. And when I heard that you were doing it, I'm like, great, I'm glad somebody's out there doing it.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for what you do.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And I appreciate you coming out to CPAC as well.
Yeah, any chance I get, you know, to talk about what's going on in this country and what changes we need and what legislation needs to be implemented and reformed.
And I've seen, it seems like a lot of people are opening, listening.
They are. Well, you can see the level of education. Before you go talk to senators and congressmen and House of Reps, they're so busy with everything else, but it's nice to see when you ask somebody, hey, do you know what Title 4D is? And they crank it out.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know about the fatherless aspect of the United States? And they crank it out.
Right.
You know about guardianship? You know about CPS? Does it need to be reformed? You know, it's nice, and we're starting to notice that here. The more all of us meet and come together, we notice that the higher level people that can write the legislation and get it implemented, the more educated we educate them.
Yeah.
And it goes with judges too. We got to educate some judges as well, and attorneys.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of advocates out there. Training. They put trainings on for judges, for attorneys, you know, regarding the obstruction of the parenting time.
Yeah, because like you said, I mean, the attorneys and judges may not necessarily be bad. Some are bad.
Yes.
But they just may be uneducated. They've been taught a certain way.
Yeah. And the gentleman in Nevada that says, I am God, he's a problem. Yeah, he's a problem. He's like your drunk uncle. You know they're coming to Thanksgiving, and you got to let them to the house because they're your uncle, but you know they're just going to get out of line.
Yeah. Anyway, Mark, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You bet. Thank
Looking
you.
forward to seeing more about the stuff that you have up on your websites there.
Definitely.
And I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.